here or yonder, whether you are near or far, makes no difference where you are, because I'm so eternally yours.
And now, let's face the music and dance.
How creative or how much talent, etc. What you can do, you know, it's just how you're making money. I mean, it's, you know, what kind of, you got a Cadillac? You live in Beverly Hills, you got a penthouse. I mean, all the material things have been, this is our heritage in America. I mean, this is, you know, total capitalistic system, and everything is based on that, you know. And anyone that's an artist has always, to my knowledge, it's always been looked on as some kind of oddball, you know, out of the mainstream, which of course you are. We had learned from the older cats, so what they had already showed us, we could take from that and build on it, you know. You have to have heart, you know. So if you don't have heart, you can't be in this business. You've got to have heart. If you don't have heart, you don't make it. Every generation is moving, is progressing, and they want to do something other than what has already been done. like to give you the musical historia of Society Red. Society Red.
Those were the days, my friend. We thought they would never end.
It all began very innocently in the city of Los Angeles, California, where I began studying clarinet and music in school. Tender age of 17, I joined the band of Lionel Hampton. One afternoon, I got a call, telephone call, and the person said, you know, it's Dexter Gordon. I said, yeah. He said, well, this is Marshall Royal, you know. He said, you know, how would you like to join Lionel Hampton's new orchestra, you know. I said, this couldn't be Marshall. It must be, you know, somebody, one of my friends, you know, putting me on or something. But said, I said, who is this? He said, no, this is Marshall. You know, I'm serious business. I said, okay. It was like, you know, dreamland, you know, it's fantastic, beautiful, and that's where I got all my, most of my schooling. That was my finishing school, you know. Of course, I kept expecting them to send me home every night, you know, and say, well, here's your ticket, man, you know. Go home and study for a couple more years, and then maybe, you know, but they had a little faith in me, so after a few months, well, it started to get together, you know. From there, I went with Louis Armstrong and the very, very modern band, the first bebop band, of course, Billy Eckstine, which had Dizzy Gillespie, Charlie Parker, Fats Novell, Miles, Sonny Stitt, Gene Ammons, Art Blakey, and many more. This was the strategic changeover, I think, where the music started going into more of a concert form. It wasn't aimed at, especially for dancers, you know, whereas the music before had always been with the dancers in mind. You know, in the urban areas where the people had a chance to kind of grow up with the bebop thing, you know, we had quite a following, and as I said, it was a little limited, but as Eckstine was the first bebop band, and we went out on the road with the band into the southern states and so forth, you know, it wasn't, you know, the people would just kind of look at us open-mouthed because they didn't know what the hell we were doing, you know.
Don't tell me about a night in June or a shady lane beneath a velvet moon. Don't tell me, 'cause I want to talk about you.
But of course, with Eckstine, this kind of saved us because Eckstine was so very popular at that time, you know. so the band was able to last for a while. And then I began to work in New York on the very, very famous 52nd Street. In fact, I used to go down there at that time and go in one club and set in, take my horn out, and just walk around the street with my horn, you know, and go here and play and go there and play, and at the end of the night go back and put my horn in the case in the original club, you know.
And everything happened so fast then. Everybody was happy. Everybody was making a buck. You understand? And those were happy days. Those were real happy days. Everybody was on the street.
They had a real special milieu. The atmosphere was very electric.
And never in life again probably will happen where you can get three great gentlemen of modern music, guys like Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, and Bud Powell, all together in one group. It's only because of Birdland that we can get such wonderful guys, gentlemen who've made modern music what it is today. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a lot of fun. Don't forget, make it here at Birdland, the jazz corner of the world, Broadway, 52nd Street, $1 admission. How can you go wrong?
Like the epitome, you know. Of course, the other people too, you know, Diz and Bud and Monk, they're all in more or less the same category, but it was a very close-knit society, you know, whereas we had our own language and our style of dress, and demanded more school musicians, you know. It's a known phenomenon in the United States that in order for a black man to succeed in anything, he has to do it 10 times better in order to be recognized, to make anything of himself, you know. This is one of the reasons that Bird's and life was so hectic. Of course, my own hasn't been that tranquil either. But at that time, you know, I think this was the real reason behind the Cats, so many of the Cats being involved in narcotics and so forth, you know. I returned to Los Angeles, where I was for several years. You walk into a club, you know, and it's 10 tenor players in there waiting for you. It was happening everywhere, all over, you know. Yeah, yeah, all those wars and battles, and you survive or you split, one way or the other. Made for a very exciting period, you know. No, well, I was in prison a lot of that time, you know, because I was addicted, you know. I was using, so I was so high, you know, I couldn't get to the job, you know. It wasn't really the best time of my life.
A kiss is just a kiss. A sigh is just a sign. The ordinary things of life apply. The world will always welcome others, and time goes by.
And I think 1961, I came back to New York and started recording for the Blue Note Company, and which turned out to be very successful. And then in 1962, I came to Europe, Forster, to London, and then to here to Copenhagen, to Montmartre.
And at that time, there were really very few professional jazz musicians. And, you know, every night was a workout.
I mean, apart from the romantic feeling that everybody might have about playing jazz, that's where you really could test yourself, because there were people in there that introduced us to that way of thinking that there are no excuses. Where being Danish, being Scandinavian, I think that you always find excuses first, and then maybe later you try to do something that is of some quality. But there were people in there who said, unless it's so-and-so, I don't like it, and I don't like you if you can't come up with it. But maybe one of the persons that really did something to that trio was Lucky Thompson, because he demanded discipline, and we weren't disciplined, for sure. Another one that left a big impression was Don Byers, but now we go. Brew Moore, Ben Webster, Dexter, of course, because he was there so many times.
The first one I found was Niels Henning, Ørsted Pedersen. He was, I think, 15. And he could already play, you know what I mean? Phenomenal. In fact, I was a teacher, professor, instructor, but I didn't think of it as that way. I was a little more practical. I wanted to play some music on the bandstand without getting sidetracked, you know.
So I really think that it meant everything for the whole discipline, for the way, I mean, not only for the people who got to play with all these people, but also for the people who had an opportunity to come down there every now and then and listen.
It seemed like I became very popular, And I kept coming back to work in Montmartre. And so I found out that it was, Copenhagen was a nice place to be. So, as you know, in the 60s, I worked, I was like the house band, and worked every summer, for 3 or 4 months, and then in the winter, a couple of months. And in between, outside, traveling around. For me, as a riser musiker, it's very central. It's very easy to travel all over Europe from here. So with the club, Montmartre, and the location, it's been very good for me, And I've met some very beautiful daily people here, and I feel very much at home. We were not competing with the local musicians. We were creating jobs, right?
Right.
Whereas the local young musicians could play and learn. Later on, I did a television program with Steen Bramson, and there was at a progressive school in Yellow Road.
Soy Califas.
After this program was showed on Fianson on television, the foreign police, Swanson, gave me my abided card, and he said that, oh, now, Gordonson, you become a Lara. That's so nice. Yeah, a teacher. So now we give you
A permission to stay.
right, which before then had been as you know, a very big problem. You come in, you go out, you come in.
Like a gypsy.